Hello, and welcome to Confident HR Conversations, the podcast designed to help you navigate challenges of communicating in English as an HR professional with confidence and clarity. I'm Alena Konečná, and I'm glad you're here.
How do you start building soft skills in a company full of tech experts? My guest today, Vendula Imramovská, learning and development partner in an IT consultancy, shares how she introduced a growth mindset and soft skills culture in an environment traditionally focused on hard skills. We'll explore how to encourage ownership and proactivity in learning, what helped employees embrace personal growth, and how HR can plant the seeds of continuous development. Even when people say they have no time, no budget, or feel too old to learn. Welcome to Confident HR Conversations, Vendula. Great to have you here.
Thank you for the invitation. I very much appreciate it.
Great. So, you and I, when we first met, you shared with me your story, how you joined a technical sector. And when you joined your company, you inherited quite a strong learning system already. It was focused on technical skills, so certifications, qualification, guild masters, learning paths, but there was not so much about soft skills. So I'm curious, what was easy, what was difficult for you to decide and to then introduce and implement the soft skills training into such technical learning environment?
It was easy in a way because that was something I'm very passionate about. And it was a relief to me since I do not have so much of the IT technical background. That was actually one of my first questions as to like, am I the right person for this role at this company since I have no IT background? And they have assured me. So the deal was, let's actually set up a soft skills platform. Let's do something. So in this sense, it was easy. And it was also easy because these guys who I'm working with are very passionate and they really want to grow. And they do have a true understanding that soft skills, it's a massive part of it. Like our people are the IT consultants. So what they do is they do speak to the customer. They deal with difficult customers. They deal with their challenges, and they need to have all this art of communication and negotiation and stress management. So in this sense, they were very happy to see that soft skills is something we are going to focus on. And till today, they are very passionate and very grateful. And yeah, they love it. And I love it too.
That's great. So here it really makes sense that even though that their job is about IT, they still need those soft skills to better communicate with the clients, with the customers. Mm.
Big time. Yes, yes. And I think what has helped was to understand what they truly do as a consultants. So we've started before we created any pipeline of the activities. We had a lot of discussions with the business, with the guild masters, with the team leads, and with the people as well. So we were asking the questions like, what skills are you missing? What is it that would help you to actually be that perfect consultant? So they together with the business come up with this with sort of like the topics they want to focus on, and that was basically the starting point for us.
So what I'm hearing, even though that you came from soft skills training background, you came there with open mind and first starting from them and from their needs and their context before designing the learning path for them.
Yeah. Correct. Yes, because it's not like a soft skills for everyone, right? No, like you need to understand, like if we talk about communication, like what sort of communication, like what is it that you find challenging, what would help you? So you do need to have that conversation before you come up with a great pipeline of activities, because you want to make sure it's actually valuable to them and to the business.
Mm. And that can be quite challenging for HR professionals who might be starting in this area, where they feel that they know of so many interesting initiatives and great training, and they might see the gaps where they would like to introduce some learning, but sometimes it may be difficult to get the people on board without
Mm-hmm.
feeling like pushing them into learning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, what would you advise, or what from your experience, what helps people to get the people on board to create or to make them partners in the learning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the biggest difference that you can do is to help them to see what's in it for me.
Mm.
And that's the biggest motivation for them to actually be willing to learn something. And that's the first thing, like when you deliver trainings, you have like literally first 5 minutes to sparkle this for them to see what's in it for me. And if you don't do it, they'll be like, oh my God, why am I even here? You know? So my advice always is to first become a partner. So they need to see L&D or the HR as someone who's here to support, to provide, to encourage, to pay. But at the same time, we're partners in this. So it's a two-way. So first, like the whole growth mindset idea, it's the first thing to focus. And the second is for them to really get curious, get greedy, like, I do want to get something out from this. Like, I want to do this and I want to do that. And for them to be passionate, like unstoppable. That's basically where you start. Even though for some people it works naturally, for some people it's like, yeah, leave me alone. I've been doing this for long. Just, whatever, you know but that what's in it for me, it's super important. And for them to understand that it's not for you like little daycare where you bring this on the golden plate, like, please take this training, I'm begging you. No, like we're partners. Like if you want something, be proactive, come over, talk to me, and I'm here to support. It's like a two-way a contract basically.
And like this change of perspectives where the HR is not the knowledgeable one to bringing the best, the perfect training, but without the actual awareness of what the person actually needs,
Mm,
what
yeah.
they need, right? That
Yeah, and absolutely. Like to give you this to the perspective again, when I have joined the Guide Vision, the team before was called Edu, like education. When I have joined, I said like, no, 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 we're going to be renaming our team. We are learning and development. We are partners. And it took us literally first couple months to create this visibility, to have interactions, to have the articles in the newsletter, to have little time on our company stand-ups and the town halls and stuff like that. For them to understand that we're no longer just providers. Here is a catalog, pick the one we're going to pay, and please make sure you join. No, we made it very clear from the beginning when I have joined that now we're partners. And I'm always seeing this L&D like someone who's like a planting the seeds and really excited being those developers. I mean, that's what I love about my role. But at the same time, I'm not going to be here to beg you. Like, I'm not going to bring everything just in front of your head and begging you. So yeah, this whole change of we're no longer education like daycare, but and with all respect, I mean the people who were doing the education in the past did fantastic job. Like the technical bits and everything was fabulous. But now we said like, oh, let's change it a little bit, and it brings the fruits right now.
I like the metaphor of planting the seeds,
Hmm.
and because it takes time to then for the fruit to
Yeah.
grow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And when you think about it, it's like whenever we're delivering some trainings, first they need to be willing to be there, like having open heart and actually spend the time with you. That's where you do a lot of pre-work on for them to understand that there could be something for me, I could benefit from. And when they are participating on those trainings, I'm always saying like, look, my role now is like little gardener. Like I'm planting those seeds. I will water it. I will look after it. But I'm always saying, like, but look at that door. When you're walking out from the door today, it's up to you. Like, however you're going to use those new informations, what are you going to put it into the practice? Like, no wonder we're having this 70-20-10 rule. Like, I am doing this 10%, like I'm doing this formal training with you, but whatever happens after you walk out from the door, it's up to you. Like, it's your responsibility. See, this is where we are a partner. I'm no longer responsible for this. I'm here to help. Like, if you want to do any follow-ups, whatever, we're going to do the evaluations, fair enough. But I'm not responsible. Like, it's your seat within your body, within your mind. I have planned it. I've done my very best. But now, whether the miracle happens or not, it's in your hands. This is how we usually end our trainings. Like, you are responsible, like you do it. If you're excited about what you've learned, make sure you explore, make sure you blossom, you know. Um, and yeah, I have to say that it usually works. And then again, the 20 and 70%, it's up to them to actually having that interactions and get their hands on dirty. And when we're having some post delivery follow-ups, and we try to evaluate within couple weeks, couple months, we're saying like, look, so we've done this training with us. Now it's been couple months. So what has changed? Like, do you see, is it still blossoming, or did the seed actually not, grow? So what happened? Did other people notice? And that could also work with the soft skills.
Mm, right, right. I really like the way you're empowering the other person to take ownership over the process, not to expect them to just learning to happen, right? Because it takes
Mm-hmm.
time and it takes effort and intentional
Mm-hmm.
effort from the learner.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And it's like, when you see someone just passively sitting like, yeah, I'm here. Okay, I've blocked my time in my calendar, so I'm here to do the magic. And that, well, hello, that's not how it works. So yeah, we're usually having this conversation. And again, within those first 5 minutes, what's in it for me, little at time? We're usually asking questions like, hey, would it not be awesome if by the end of today you would learn this and this and that connected to the topic? And you can see the thoughts. You can see like, actually, I would love to learn how to do this because I could save some time. Like literally they need to see what's in it for them in order to be willing.
Right, right. You come back to that a lot. What's in it for them? What's in it for me? And I think it's super important, especially as you said at the beginning, to spark the initial curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going into this phase of planting the seeds when still maybe there hasn't been this mindset change from this, hey, I'm gonna wait for your magic
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to I'm taking responsibility. Let's do a little demonstration of how a conversation can look like between an HR, which would be you, Vendula,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
a leader, an employee, who's kind of still resisting in their own ways of thinking and approach to
Mm-hmm.
learning.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's try.
Yeah. So, you're HR professional who's there to kind of initiate this kind of this process or instill the curiosity in me when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to soft skills
Mm-hmm.
training. I will be
Mm-hmm.
resisting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I have some prompts that might come from an employee like this,
Okay. Yep.
and we'll see. All right,
Let's try.
excellent. So, Vendula, I know that you suggested this training on soft skills, but to be honest, I don't really have time for another training.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's elaborate a little bit. Let's talk about it. So what training was it that you had in mind? And also with regards to your time availabilities, just let me understand a little bit more what's your current situation.
Right. So I was suggested to have effective communication training uh,
Mm-hmm.
because of my interactions with
Mm-hmm.
customers. But I don't know. I mean, I do communicate with my clients. It is happening, and I feel that I have already on a lot on my plate.
Okay. So the effective communication would be the topic. Okay. So now you're saying that you're already communicating, you're doing it sort of the way you feel it works. Are there any situations where you feel you could benefit from learning something new, or you could actually see what are the other options? Like recently, has anything like that happened?
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, sometimes what happens is that I get a request from a client
Mm,
and it's not super clear, but then with the time, the request changes. And
hmm
it's a little bit difficult then to continue follow up and develop the project because it seems that the requirements change with time. So that's quite
Okay, yeah, yeah, that might be quite frustrating, isn't it? So how would you like it to be?
well. If they tell me right away like what they actually want,
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Like if they're straightforward, like telling you what to do, that you would not have to be wasting your time. Okay, okay. Okay. Well, that's about them. What about you? Like how would you like to act in the situation like this?
um, maybe I'm need to be more open
Mm-hmm.
to get more information for them from them.
Okay. To get more information. Okay, like how would that look like?
Mm, so to have more details about their context and what they actually need, and not just the
Mm-hmm,
initial
mm-hmm.
request.
Okay, right. So to gain more informations from them. Now, how would you do that in like those typical situations?
Maybe like having a clear structure of
Mm-hmm.
those initial meetings
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to really know what to keep in mind when going into these meetings. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you would like to sort of have a structure of how to be ready for those meetings so you can ask the questions to get the informations from the customer so you are not wasting your time and sort of like reading their minds, right? Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, within those trainings that we do, that's one of the things that we touch a base on. So basically, if you were about to join our session, we would be actually not just theoretically, but we will role play. We would try those scenarios. Um, so in the way you could actually learn of how to prepare, how to structure. So would that be something that you would want to learn eventually?
So that sounds like maybe getting just a checklist of things that I can ask them would be enough. Maybe it's not about training. Maybe I just need that.
Well, to be honest with you, maybe it's not. The training won't save you. The training is not the miracle thing. Sometimes it is just about thinking, okay, so this is what I want to get. So what are my options? Maybe in your instance, it would only be like, okay, let me actually take a 10 minutes before the meeting. Let me actually create a schedule or checklist or whatever, so you are well prepared. Now, the question is, would you want to do this and explore this on your own? Or would you need some sort of like help from some mentor or someone else who can actually show you what are the ways of doing this? Like, what would be your preferred way?
So like having someone more experienced sharing their tips with me.
Hmm.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, the training is not the only option. It could also be that there is someone you look up for, someone who you know experienced, who could be your mentor. And to be honest with you, I think that's even more valuable to have someone to share. They know where you're coming from, they can share you the tips. And this is also the way how we sort of learn, you know. And now coming back to the point where you mentioned that you don't have time, now I fully appreciate it. Like I get it. Like you guys are super busy. It's so difficult to even schedule a 10-minute meeting with you because I appreciate it. So I'm just thinking like, what are the options? So if that's something you really want, if you want to get this little preparation and get your heads prepared for the meeting with the customer to avoid those misunderstandings and stuff, is it again, and if you decide what's the learning way, how you want to get this, what are the options? Like, is it that you could spare like 10, 15 minutes a week with a mentor, or is it that you want to do, because they're really, it's not like you have to participate a 1 day training. It could be that it's like this little blended or those little short coffees, like 10 minutes to learn something or have this conversation with the mentor. So there are so many ways how you can actually learn. But the bottom line is like, if you truly want to have this meeting with the customer and you're not wasting your time, there are options. It's just up to you how you want to handle this.
Hmm. I mean, 10, 15 minutes per week sounds fantastic. And if it could be like in more informal meeting, like having
Mm-hmm.
coffee with a mentor, that sounds great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there anyone you have on the mind? Like, is there someone who you could think of from the team that could be this mentor? Like like having those conversations, gain some input from them? Anyone on the mind you have?
I don't know. Is there something that you can help me with there?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So we do have a team of the mentors. Um, what we could do is we could set you up with couple people to have an initial conversation, and then you will see like will you feel the best sort of vibe with, and also obviously the experienced wise. And I think that could work well. So again, it's you don't have to go and participate on 2 days training. It could just be this little, having someone to talk to, share the frustrations with. Yeah, so that could definitely be an option.
Right, that sounds great. Thank you so much. And
Of
we can
course.
stop the we can stop the demonstration. Um, what I really liked about this demonstrations, about the way that you guided me through the conversation, was that you were coming back to my needs or the employees' needs, right? You were referring back to those pain points that were bothering me and that I mentioned initially. Although I did not mention them initially, you had to dig in a little bit deeper
Hmm.
to get to them. So thank you for this example.
Of
Um,
course.
uh, was this an example of something that you would hear from some employees, or what are some other common um, resistances or common things that people say when they not fully on board?
Yeah. I mean, if it's the matter of I do have an issue, but I don't have a time, that's sort of easy to fix. So that would sort of be this little demonstration we did. I think way more difficult one is when they say like, well, I've done those trainings already. Like I know how to do it. Like I'm great at what I do. That's a little like a reality check. And if the worst one is when a team lead or the manager comes and says like, hey, could you do something about this team member? He's not performing very well. This communication with the customer, it really sucks. And when you're actually having this conversation with that person, they are like, yeah, well, I mean, I don't need any training. I'm great. So this is a challenging one. Like, I would probably say that the advice here would be when you speak to the team lead, making sure that they already had that discussion. Because if the team lead is not open and honest, straightforward with the person to really provide that mirror, provide that feedback, and if I'm the first one he would potentially hear this from, it would be very unfair. So this conversation with me would have to be after they have already had that conversation. And if the team lead is not brave enough or does not want to do this, I'm here to help the team lead to have that conversation. I cannot be the translator here. And that's what happens sometimes. Like, can you just fix it? Like, this is my team members. Can you just do something about him? That's like, well, let's do it together. We are partners. Remember, I'm also partner to the team lead.
Mm,
Um, and yeah, like, and usually when I have conversation with those people, like, yeah, I've done it already. I'm usually saying something like, look, I'm here just to show you something new. And all what I want you to do is just to hear me out. Like whether again you use those new skills, knowledge Once you walked out from the door, it's up to you. I'm just here to show you something. So all what I'm asking you is just to have open heart. And again, like I'm saying something like, hey, would it not be awesome if you actually come up with the customer meeting and actually knowing exactly what the customer wants? And they would go something like, yeah, actually, you know what? Yes, sometimes really frustrating. I'm like, yeah. So there are actually good techniques, and all I'm asking is for a little bit of your time, because what you could really gain is to have some clarity on how to do this. And I appreciate you've done this many times, and some of these trainings might have been really good, some of them might not. So I don't know what your experience is, but I'm here to offer you something.
Mm.
Like, would you like to try? And usually when you have this conversation, I have never heard anyone saying like, no, I'm not interested.
Okay.
You're just trying to sparkle this little curiosity, especially when it comes to like efficiency. So like imagine there are people who've been doing the same spreadsheet for years. They're not interested in anything new. So is that sparkle like, hey, so you're doing this like for 5 hours per day. Would it not be awesome if I show you the way how to do this within 3 hours? And no one's going to say, no, I'm not interested. Like, of course, everyone wants to find how to do the stuff easier.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's about like sparkle that curiosity, like just little like Kamale, would it not be awesome if you learned this? Usually when we do like online trainings, because it's obviously slightly less interaction than comparing to when you do the on-site, we are asking those questions like, hey guys, hands up if you would love to do this, hands up if you would love to do that. And majority of the people like raising their hands or doing this little emoji, through the team's reaction thing. And it's like this is where you sparkle them, like, oh, actually, you know what? If I hear you out, I could actually benefit from this. Again, what's in it for me?
Mm.
You
Mm.
know?
So what you're saying, going back to what you said earlier, feedback must come first, and it should come from the team leader. That you can support, but it should be coming from them before having this conversation how to possibly fix. And I like how you frame that it's not about, so how can we fix you? But it's about what can you gain? Or wouldn't it be exciting to gain something like that for
Mm,
you?
yeah. Like imagine the outcome. Like again, like coming back to our demonstration, I would probably go even with like, here, like imagine you had this customer call and you were prepared. Like you had the informations. Like how did it feel? Like literally like coming back to the like coaching a grow model. Like let's visualize how it's going to look like. Like would it not be amazing? Like how do you feel about it? And obviously everyone gets excited because they do want it, right? I do want to have easy meetings with the customers. I want to make sure I have all the clarity and everything. And if they see how the 10 out of the 10 could look like, and then they compare to where am I now? Excuse me.
Yeah.
When they compare where they are now, uh, then this is where you have that conversation. So if this is 10 out of the 10, and you're right now at, I don't know, 5 out of the 10, how can we do this together? We're partners. And it could be that you say, hey, I do want to have a mentor, or hey, I need to have a training, or I just need to get some project when I can actually practice. It could be so many things, but that's about having that conversation. Where do you want to get? Where are you right now? And how can we fill in the gap?
Mm. That's also one thing that I really enjoyed in the demonstration, and that's the fact that you were not having, you didn't have just one fit all solution. Yeah, it was
Mm-hmm.
more options, more approaches, including mentoring, including things that can take very little time, but still there's this agency of this learner.
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
great perspective.
Yeah,
Well,
and today's trends really are like it's no longer everyone having a 2-day training. Like it's so expensive. Not even thinking about the delivery, it's about the people's time. So you need to be looking at other options, and not everyone wants to have a classroom training. There are so many options how they can learn, you know?
that's so true, so true. Now,
Yeah.
if there's anyone listening who feels that their company is still in that phase where HR is there giving things on the golden platter, hoping and begging for people to and participate, what would you suggest to be their first step into opening a space for a different approach?
Okay, I think first you need to have some clarity within the management that they are taking this seriously. Because if you start to talk about, hey, we're partners, we're here to support you, what do you want? Some people will be first to say, hey, actually, you know what? I want this and this and this. So you need to know that if you offer something, you are actually able to deliver. That's the first thing. It's like when you're having the employee satisfaction surveys. If you ask the questions and then you get the answers, you need to make sure that you're able to do something about it, right? So that's the first thing, like making sure that what you're offering, you can actually deliver. So if there is one L&D person for a 5,000 head company, that could be tricky. That's really, that person is just literally a catalog admin provider, not a true partner. So that's the first thing. The second thing is really to start having those conversations. And I would even say, if it's really something that people are stuck in this, having little like ambassador, little like elite club or something. So see who are the people who are passionate about the growth, create that little ambassadoring sort of like a club, and talk to them, like talk to them, say, yeah, like, guys, we do want to have a different approach. What would you think about this? Like, get their thoughts, right? Pilot this, try this with them first. And then to sort of roll out and start with those growth mindset sessions and really encourage people. This takes a while, but it's worth it. And I guarantee there will always be some people who will be very passionate and who will be very happy for you to announce, hey, we're partners, you know. Uh, and they will be the first one who would approach their team lead saying, like, hey, I really want this, like, help me out. And it's you sort of slowly start building. So the first one is make sure you can actually deliver what you're promising. And the second, find the people who are passionate, who do already have that growth mindset, start to work with them first, and then it will slowly spread across. Yeah.
I love how you mentioned that it's not, again, just on the HR. That it doesn't have
No.
it doesn't have to come from their head, like everything,
hmm
right? But to get people on board, even with the process of getting other people on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have
I'll,
to.
I'll tell you a very, very small example. Um, we do have L&D consultation hours. So every month, we would literally, it would be online as well as in the office. So whoever wants to pop look at it like the university consultation hours. So there's certain window where everyone who's curious wants to come over, ask a question, raise a feedback, seek the advice, whatever want. And we do this every month. And people are proactive. They would pop in, speak, raise the question, raise the concern, challenge us, promote some idea, and then they would leave. It's like a pop in, pop out session. And this is where, again, it's on the top of this, we're partners. So we're here for you, but you be proactive. Come over to me. Like, let's talk, but you know where to find me. Just be proactive and come over. Yeah.
I think that's a great example of something that can provoke this curiosity and this excitement in HR now listening, that this can be something that
Yeah.
they might have in their own companies and
Yeah.
organizations.
100%. And whenever they come over with some suggestions, something that they want to explore, we obviously do have a conversation with the team lead, making sure that it makes the sense. It's within the company strategy. Like, does the team lead actually see, like, yes, there is a point for this person to take this career path? But if they do, we'll do this together.
Right. So it's like a possible beginning of a conversation,
Yeah.
which includes more people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Vendula, for sharing
Of course.
your insights, your stories, your examples, and ideas how to start growing or start planting the seeds of growing mindset in people's companies as well.
hmm
So, and if our listeners would like to connect with you, or if they can reach out to you, how should they do that?
Definitely through the LinkedIn. I'm very happy to. Yeah, I'm very passionate about getting the new inspiration within the LinkedIn as well. So love to connect. And if there's anything they want to discuss after this podcast, I'm very happy to.
Excellent. Thank you so much for guesting on
Of course.
If you are an HR professional who wants a safe space to practice speaking in English, join our Confident HR Speaker community. We meet twice a month to discuss real HR topics, expand our vocabulary, and gain the confidence to express ourselves. Plus, you'll be supported and inspired by a group of other HR professionals who share your struggles and goals. Check the link in the description to sign up. Bye-bye.